Okay, let's get going here. The goal of these webinar series is to convey a bunch of information in about 15 minutes, as much as we possibly can on different topics. If you haven't attended one before, we do these every week, and we hit a different topic every week, and you're certainly welcome to reach out after the fact if you have more specific questions. Today, you can put them in the chat, and we'll answer them as we kind of go along. So, without further ado, let's get started. I'm excited for this one. Production is pretty much the heartbeat of any manufacturing company. It touches every department. The goal of it is to make the right products at the right time, but that can be very difficult. Bad production management leads to a number of bad consequences, delayed orders, inventory issues, either on the high side or low side, high labor costs, affects every department, the sales department, the customer service department, the accounting department. On the good side, when things get done well, have efficient capital allocation, happy customers, smooth operations, all of those things. What role does the ERP play in it? And I don't want to read off of all of these things, but basically the ERP is always the central source of truth. We have all of our transactions, all of our information in the ERP, and so if it's doing its job well, it's going to tell us what we need to produce when, and when our inventory flow is going to be running low so that we need to schedule some production. A lot of companies that don't have an ERP in place are doing this thing on paper and spreadsheets and whiteboards and all of those sorts of things. Makes it really difficult to move things around, to communicate with other departments, and do all of those things. And again, because all the information's in an ERP, it enables us to do that, that function much more efficiently. So we're going to hop into Wherefore here quickly and go through some of the things that a good production management system will do. On the front end, we have data, we have information at our fingertips, much more easily than we would in any sort of manual system, including spreadsheets. In this example, let's say you're a manager and you want to pop in here and say, and see what did we produce? This happens to be time banded over the course of a few months, but in the real world, what did we produce today? Or what did we produce yesterday? Or on the production side, how efficient was our production? In this example, our yield was at 100%. If it wasn't, we can see how we're deviating from our expected yield on the high side or low side, so we can address issues very quickly. So let's hop into the production module specifically. And for those of you who may not be familiar with production systems, basically in a production system, you'll have a thing called a work order. Some folks might call it a production order. It's basically an internal order to make something. So if I drill into one of these work orders here, it's going to basically show us we're scheduled here to make some bulk chocolate. This demo account happens to be a bakery and chocolate company. It can be anything, cosmetics, nutraceuticals, any sort of product in here. It's basically, in this example, we've got an internal order to make 500 pounds of this bulk chocolate. We've got a date where we schedule it, which is next week. We've got a lot code attached to it if we're doing traceability. And we've got a work order number, production instructions. This is you have specific production instructions that you can convey to the production floor that tell you to do specific things. So that's basically the concept of a work order in the system. So let's talk a little bit about the organization and how an ERP can show us what our world looks like in a much easier way than any sort of manual system. So at a high level, we've got a production calendar. This is all the work orders we have scheduled over whatever period of time we want to look at them. So the month of May 2025. We've got all of these work orders that are sitting on our calendar so we can get a global view of what we're making when. We can filter this for specific products. So if I want to look at that bulk chocolate, basically, that we've just put on the calendar, I can filter this calendar for all of the instances where we're making bulk chocolate, and it's involved in 5 different work orders over the course of this month. So we can really easily, again, see what we're making when. From a real world standpoint, all of us know that on a daily basis, this production calendar is going to get tweaked and moved around. Orders are going to come in, decisions are going to get made, equipment breaks down. A good ERP should be very flexible to allow you to modify things. So let's say I wanted to reschedule this and move it to a different day here. I can drag and drop that over very quickly. Let's say I wanted to edit it and make more of this product. I can very quickly, instead of 6,500 cases, let's say I got a big order in, I want to change this to 7,500. Again, very quickly, I can go in there and make that change. That's obviously going to impact the raw material requirements that I might need for production, and we'll get into that in a second here. A couple of tools that are involved in Wherefore. What if I want to make, let's say I wanted to make some of that bulk chocolate, but I don't know if I can. And let's say I want to make 5,000 pounds of it. Can I do that with what I have on hand right now? Well, in this example, we're going to go into the system here, and we can't do a production run of that size right now because we need 1,900 gallons of this whole milk, and we only have 1,400 in stock right now. So again, a good production management system is tying our inventory together with an order that might be coming in that would consume that 5,000 pounds of bulk chocolate. On a much higher level, we're going to have a webinar specifically dedicated to the MRP next week. So I don't want to go too far into depth on this, but an MRP is basically a material resource plan. This is going to play a huge role in your production planning. So if I'm going to go into this MRP, it's basically going to show me what does the world look like from an inventory standpoint moving forward. So I'm going to toggle over to our finished goods specifically, and we're going to look here and look at what do we have in stock right now? What's our forecast look like? And what do we have scheduled to make? So in this example, I've got roughly 6,100 chocolate bars in stock. I've got a forecast each week depleting some of those. I do have a work order scheduled here in the future that's going to consume some of those chocolate bars and case them up here. If I scroll down to my next item, I've got finished cases of chocolate bars. I've got 6,000 in stock right now. I've got a forecast here, but we see we've got a bunch of orders that are due to be delivered next week. And so we can see here that basically those 1,100 cases we're going to be in 1,100 case deficit. And so what we need to do is schedule some of this. Well, we can look right here and see, well, I've got 6,500 cases scheduled to be produced in 2 weeks. Why don't I just move that up a week? And we can do that on our calendar. So as we do things in the system, schedule production, we can very easily see what the world looks like moving forward and make adjustments to that because we've got all the data at our fingertips. So I'm going to actually go in to do that. We've got our chocolate bars here that we're making 3 weeks from now. If I go into my calendar here, we've got these cases of chocolate bars. I'm just going to drag that production run up to this week. Now it's on the schedule at the right time. I'm going to make the inventory and I'm going to be able to fill those orders. So from an organizational standpoint, good production management allows us to adjust our schedule flexibly. And when we do that, what's the impact of doing that? It's going to show us exactly what that is. Really quickly, if you're an order-driven company, so a lot of manufacturing, and it might be a combination. A lot of manufacturers are inventory-driven, meaning I've got a forecast looking forward, and I'm going to make my production schedule based on that. But there are certain industries, co-manufacturers, things like potentially bakeries that deliver product to their customers where you get an order in today and you need to deliver it on Thursday. Maybe you need to access the orders that are in-house right now in order to set up my production. So in this example, I can see all the in-house orders for chocolate bars, 7,800 that I need to deliver. I can very quickly, if I want to, create work orders directly from these orders. So if you are an order-driven company, you can drive the scheduling of production specifically based on those orders. Most companies are more inventory driven than they are production driven, but certainly a good ERP can accommodate both of those things. So on the production side, what does a work order do? Basically, a work order does 3 things. It's going to manage inventory. So when I run this work order to make bulk chocolate, it's going to deplete, in this example, to make the 500 pounds, it's going to deplete 366 grams of cocoa beans. It's going to do the traceability if you're subject to lot control, which pretty much every food, cosmetic, nutraceutical company is. It's going to do the traceability. So we're specifically going to consume this lot of cocoa beans. It's going to get traced to this bulk chocolate that we're making. So two things, we've done our traceability and our inventory management. The third thing is it's going to do all of our costing, and we'll show you that in a second. But before I do that, I want to show you one other good aspect of a good ERP is the flexibility to adapt to the real world. Most companies were intending to make 500 pounds of chocolate. Well, what if I only make 490? Some of it spilled on the floor. We just didn't get the yield we expected. A good ERP allows you to very easily either weigh something on a scale and tell the system that you made less, or report that we've just made 490 pounds in this example. And so a good ERP, both on the input or ingredient side, if there's a modification, or on the output side, it allows you to very easily report accurate yield or consumption of inventory so that you have an accurate inventory moving forward. So once we've executed this work order, I'm going to show you the third thing that good production management does. It shows us what was our cost to make this product. So basically we consumed raw materials. We consumed 10.5 hours of labor at $22 an hour. So the total cost of running this production run was $1,475, which equates to cost per unit of $3.01. If we actually made the 500 pounds, our cost per unit would be down. So as our yield goes down, our cost per unit goes up. The system will reflect that. You also have the ability to document things in the production management system. You can upload documents, you can upload checklists, you can inject critical control points into the process so that you can report on test results. I won't go into the specifics of that because we're going to talk a little bit about compliance in a future webinar. Just want to give you a sense for what a good production management system does for you. So at a high level here, again, as we kind of wrap this up, it basically keeps you organized. It enables you to see what the future looks like based on the production calendar that you have in place. It enables your operators to see what they have to do on a daily basis. You have the ability to filter what do I need to make today? What work orders are in production right now? You can filter the system for that and say, oh, hey, all of these things are in production right now. What's complete, meaning what did I execute yesterday? So a manager might go in and say, hey, what work orders did we run yesterday? So again, it keeps everything organized. It gives you all the data at your fingertips instead of pouring through paper and spreadsheets and all of those things. So the last thing that I'll show you, again, attached to the cost piece is the nice thing about good production management. Again, it allows us to see what everything costs us to make. So if I quickly go into this reporting area, there's a couple of things here. If we want to run a work order report, which is basically going to show us the deviation from expected yield and costs in the system, I can go in and say, oh, hey, my cost variance on making this specific item was 41%. And so in this example, I was more efficient than I expected to be. So you've got a deviation from expected that's in the system. And then most importantly, when I ship orders out, did I make any money on these orders? So I can quickly go in to see, because I've got all of my costs on my manufacturing run for this, in this example, these loaves of bread that I made and shipped out to a customer. They cost me $48 to make the 30 loaves that I made attached to this order, and I showed them for 70. So the last thing I really want to emphasize is the organization that this gives you. The inventory management and the costing really allows you to analyze your business across all of your products. So I appreciate the time today for everyone stopping in, and please reach out to us at any time if you would like to schedule a specific demo with us or ask questions. You can reach out to me, visit our website to learn more.